they got the knowledge you crave. Expert advice. Hard hit insight gonna make you win. Listen up closely, let the games begin. Top pick sleepers every week I spin. The FF universe here to help you win. The fantasy football universe.
What is up? Welcome into the double FU, the FU times 2, the fantasy football universe. Of course, I am Jeremy Schulman at FF_Rebel. This is our roundtable show. We're going to have a couple of guests drop in here in a number of minutes. But first, we need to talk a little bit about what's going on here in week 15. We got lots of question marks. We got lots of uncertainty here headed into the most important game of this 2025 fantasy season. And of course, we have Kyle Pitts just went off, hopefully on your team, hopefully not against you, but I would imagine there's more people facing a Kyle Pitts dilemma than there are who benefited from it. Bijan Robinson, also, if you faced him, he went off on Thursday night. So, and you probably, were either happy or unhappy with Chris Godwin's performance, catching a touchdown as well. Mike Evans looked fantastic and healthy, so we'd love to see that. But we need to make a decision about who we're going to start on Sunday, despite all of these things. So today, we'll talk a little bit about the guys who we are very, very happy with, and maybe some guys who are potentially a little bit disappointing to us headed into week 15. We're also here to answer any and every question that you have in the chat regarding those week 15. And there's a few things of note. Number one, we got a Discord in the comment section on YouTube. I'm dropping it right now. Join our Discord. There's a link. You can join up, talk ball with us 24/7, not just days like today. Get your questions answered and figure it out along the way. And of course, at Fast Draft, use promo code FFU. You get up to $25 matched if you play there for the first time. That's enough of that business. Let's talk a little bit about what's happening here in week 15 and how we're feeling. And we'll start at the quarterback position. So first of all, number one on the list is QB1 on the week, Matthew Stafford, going back to Detroit for a revenge game. Well, inviting Detroit, I guess, to Los Angeles for a revenge game here. I expect him to go completely nuclear in this game. I think 3 touchdowns passing is the minimum for him. I know we don't have Sam Laporta. That's really the only thing that's missing from this offense at the moment. The offensive line is healthy enough, but I'm not concerned about the Detroit Lions pass rush. Certainly not concerned about that Detroit Lions secondary. They've been horrifically injured, which has caused a ton of issues there. And the only thing that Detroit seemingly can do very well on the defensive side of the ball is stop the run. They are number one. I think they're tied with the New York Jets for the fewest fantasy points allowed to the running back position. We can get into all reasons why, but the fact of the matter is you can pass all over this defense. I think Matthew Stafford does that on his way to a QB1 finish on the week. Now, the only way he doesn't get there is if one of these rushing quarterbacks do. I don't see Josh Allen being the QB1 overall against a pretty stout New England defense, but Jackson Dart has that potential. The question is, will he run? If he does, the matchup is fantastic. Washington is quietly the worst defense in the league over the last 6 weeks or so. They've totally just crapped the bed here. It's been awful. Jackson Dart is healthy, but we need him to run a little bit more. They haven't really been leaning on him because of all the concussions. Instead, they've been leaning on these 2 running backs. But Tyrone Tracy isn't the healthiest. I believe he has a shoulder injury. So we'll see how that goes. But Jackson Dart is my QB3 on the week. He's an interesting play. And then, of course, you got Drake May, who can always go off. Buffalo gives up a ton of rushing yards. They don't necessarily give it up too much in the passing game, but that's because you can run all over them. That said, Drake May can run it. He's been fantastic. The MVP of the league likely this season, as long as the rest of the way he kind of shows out here. This is going to be a big litmus test game for him. See if he can hit MVP. I think he's going to be up for it. Just the QB 25 when they played Buffalo back in week 5. I have Drake May as my QB 6 right now. I expect him to have a decent day. And then, of course, you got Jalen Hurts. I have him all the way down at 8. Hasn't looked good for him, but he's in a smash spot here with Vegas. So there's a huge opportunity for him. Alberto, what is up? Thanks for, or Albert, sorry. Thanks for dropping in. Hello to you, sir. Any questions for the week? Let us know, and we will do our best to answer them. Yeah, we were just talking about this. So the question is Dak or Burrow? I kind of glossed over these two talking about quarterbacks. But just finish up on Hurts. Hurts has the opportunity to be the QB1 of the week because he can run it. He can sling it against a bad defense in Vegas. He just hasn't really put it all together yet this season. Call it offensive line, issues in terms of they're no longer the elite of the elite. Call it Jalen Hurts accuracy problems. Call it what you will, but he was running the ball around a ton last week. We love to see that, and that's how Hurts gets his touchdowns. I do have him a QB8 right now. I'm a bit more reserved on that, but he has the potential to unseat Stafford as the top quarterback this week. Now, Burrow or Dak is an interesting question because I have both of these guys inside my top 6. I'm just debating where to put them. I currently have Burrow at 2, but the T news came out. We were expecting T Higgins to sit, but of course, there was always the chance that he was going to play. I think that's going to move him all the way down to QB4 for me. But he still is ahead of Dak Prescott. The Baltimore defense has not been very good against the pass. I think that's a bit of an understatement. But they certainly haven't looked much better. They certainly looked a lot better against the run. So I don't necessarily expect Chase Brown to get there on the ground potentially. It's more so through the air. Dak Prescott against Minnesota. That's just a defense that can do a lot more things to you. We know Brian Flores and the type of coach that he is, certainly former head coach, focusing on defense. He's an absolute beast of a matchup. And but Minnesota is not elite outside of their linebackers, so they really get lost in the game plan at times, simply because they don't have the talent on that side of the football that they kind of want to be able to do the things they can do. Dak Prescott with CeeDee Lamb playing is really interesting. In fact, I am going to move him one spot over Joe Burrow with CeeDee Lamb back, but Jake Ferguson potentially missing. That's something we need to keep an eye on. Tough one. Both of these guys are great plays. I feel like Dak is the safer play at home. I'm not necessarily concerned about Joe Burrow's comments this week about him being very upset about the situation. This guy just doesn't want to lose. But this one is really close, Albert. I will lean Dak slightly, but as you can tell, I'm high on both of these guys this week. The backup running back conundrum. Scott, I got to say this. I understand you because ordinarily Ramondre wouldn't even be in this conversation, but playing against the Buffalo Bills is a phenomenal matchup for any running back. Buffalo Bills give up very close to the most. In fact, I can get you those numbers exactly. Very close to the most. In fact, how close to the most? The sixth most fantasy points to opposing running backs. You can run all over the Bills, and you struggle to pass on them, especially at the tight end. They lock down tight ends, so it could be an issue here. But yeah, Ramondre, I really think I don't think they want to give the ball to Travion 25 times. I know he's been getting the lion's share. Ramondre worked in a little bit last week, but I really think this is, or 2 weeks ago rather, but I really think this is the week after the bye. Now they're healthy. In terms of Ramondre. Travion, I feel like he's going to go off, but I do think that Ramondre gets a heavy workload and has the potential to score here. The question is, really, Scott, which one of these guys is going to score the touchdown? Could be a ton of them. Let's see where I have them ranked. So scrolling down a little bit. All right, we got Ramondre at RB31. We got Monty at RB39. And who's the guy in the middle? Zach Charbonnet, always a threat to score. Got him at 42. That feels low. In fact, I'm going to push him up here to RB38. Can Ramondre move down? He certainly could. Yeah, but I don't think I'm going to get him. I'm pretty high on Ramondre this week. The thing with Zach Charbonnet is pretty much everyone is expecting this game to blow out and Seattle to really just ride their running backs in the second half. if that doesn't happen, if Philip Rivers somehow keeps this game close, if the Indy D shows up, I feel like that could be a failing script for Charbonnet. At the same time, Charbonnet always has that chance to score because of his red zone usage. Uh, David Montgomery, I just feel gets phased out of this game. So I'm definitely sitting Monty. I feel like Ramondre is your ceiling play, but Charbonnet could be your floor play. So, Scott, I know you obviously didn't get to this spot in the playoffs on the backs of these backs here. Um, if you need a ceiling shot because you're up against it, I would go with Ramondre. If you need a safer floor, I feel like it's Zach Charbonnet this week. Steve McMahon, what is up? Thanks for joining at the Flex in PPR. Do we go Tet? Do we go Diggs? Or do we do one of these backs if Jacobs is out? Well, Emmanuel Wilson is potentially out. He is questionable, and the team is concerned about him because he's got some sickness. We don't know exactly what it is. He's just out with an illness. And I think they elevated somebody else. I don't have the exact name of that person, but this came through about 25, 30 minutes ago. Trying to see if I can quickly find the name. They elevated somebody else for this game in the event that Wilson misses, in the event that Jacobs misses. I don't think that Josh Jacobs is missing this game. Of course, Green Bay needs to win as many as possible. Thank you, Pierre Strong. Yep. So, yeah, I'm not really playing one of those guys. No. All right. So what I'm going to say is this: Ted McMillan, I think, is a phenomenal play this week. He's a wide receiver 1 for me this week, and I'll talk about him in a second. Steph Diggs, I love it. We got the revenge game narrative again. He went off for 146 yards against Buffalo, but did not score. Buffalo has been, like I said earlier, limiting opposing passing games. Now they're giving it up to outside receivers, and Steph Diggs moves all over the formation, so that's decent for him. But in the interior, especially those tight ends, especially those slot receivers, it gets a lot more difficult against Buffalo. And this is where we know that Steph Diggs likes to live. He's roughly 45 or so percent. In fact, Ryan might have those numbers of exactly how much Steph Diggs is playing in the slot. So we'll get to that in a second. But let me just talk to you about Tet McMillan. There's a number of things I think about this. Number one, I think that this team is coming off the bye, so we like to see that post-rookie bye bump. Now, I know it's late in the season, but Ted McMillan's been playing out of his mind. Number two, he gets New Orleans. That's not anything that I'm scared about in terms of a coverage or scheme perspective. And number three, the other guys in this offense who've been playing decently, like Jalen Coker, for example, they're not really taking targets away, but they are helping to open up this offense and allowing Bryce Young to cook a little bit more than usual. So Ted McMillan is my wide receiver 11 this week, but I do like Steph Diggs. He's my wide receiver 21. Those backs are much further down, and Emmanuel Wilson might not even play with the illness as we were talking about. So, Ryan, what do you think about this question from Steven? Should he go get Pierre Strong off waivers, or should he just stick with one of these wide receivers?
Yeah, you stick with Tet. I mean, the upside has been unparalleled. I mean, there's a good chance to have a low-scoring game on Sunday. They have the third highest odds to have the lowest scoring game on the weekend, but I'm still going to risk it with Tet. No really shutdown corner. They need to play him in the slot more. That's what they need to do.
Yeah,
it worked.
agree.
It worked against, who was it, Atlanta? They moved him around, and he had 8 for 130. Stephon Diggs, he plays in the slot half the time. I know you were asking about that. About half, 49%. So
yeah,
it is half. So I'm going to go Tet, Diggs, and then, yeah. I don't know. I don't think I want anyone else.
Listen, I agree with you. The only thing I'll say is I know that, and I'm looking it up now to see what the situation is, but I know that didn't Bernard in the middle of that Buffalo defense leave last week with an injury? I thought he had some sort of issue where he left. So I'm just trying to see if there's any news on that. Do you have anything?
6 at the end of the game.
He did, but I thought maybe I'm thinking of 2 weeks ago. Maybe that's why I remembered his name. Oh, well. Anyway, yeah, the middle of that Bills defense, you don't want anything to do with it. You want to stay on the outside. So it depends if they're going to be able to get to him. And look, they're going to feed Steph Diggs again. I'm not concerned about that at all. At the same time, I'm just rolling with Ted.
Yeah, it's a pretty easy choice.
Yep, agreed. Scott says Minnesota hasn't given up a passing TD in 4 straight games. I didn't have that stat on my bingo card. I am, however, wondering who Minnesota has played in the last 4 games. I'm going to give you the rundown.
I mean, Washington for sure. That was an ugly one.
Yikes! They have played. Listen to this.
Bo Nix.
Just Chicago. 4 weeks ago, they played Chicago, so that would be a shocker. Chicago, Green Bay, Seattle, and Washington. Oh, okay, passing TD, not rushing TD. Passing TD. Yeah.
The Denver one was a couple weeks ago. Okay. Yeah. That was fine. Okay.
All right. Wait. So look,
they didn't play Minnesota. I'm confusing Washington. That's my bad. That's on me.
No, it's all good. No, they played Washington last week.
Yeah, they played Washington last week, but I was confusing Washington with Denver. And
got you.
That Sunday night game.
Yep. Yeah, and no Denver coming up. Yeah, but against Dallas, look, I'm not worried. CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens. I wish Ferguson were playing in this game so he could help open up the offense, but one of those guys is going to score a touchdown. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably going to be CeeDee.
No. Yes. I'm rolling CeeDee over Pickens for sure. Is Burrow or May a coin flip this week? It is for me. I had Burrow incredibly high up at 2, Ryan, but then I moved him down to 5. After the T news, I was kind of expecting it, but just kind of looking at it again, Baltimore's been okay. I think Burrow still goes off, but I think there's the potential for Dak Prescott, who I have at 4, or Dart and Allen to go off ahead of him. But Drake May in this matchup was the QB 25 back in week 5 against Buffalo. They didn't necessarily crush Buffalo in terms of the production that they put up through the air or on the ground. But Drake May just didn't throw any touchdowns, had a very mediocre day. I think he has better days. My QB 6, but I got Burrow 5, May 6, so I'm flipping the coin. What are you doing here?
Yeah, I had them 1 and 2. I might move Burrow down with the T. Higgins news, but it's kind of expected. Yep. I just don't think Baltimore's passing defense is that good. It's just
agree.
Burrow had a quality outing a couple weeks back on Thursday Night Football. Those games are a little weirder, especially on Thanksgiving. So I think he'll go off. I might move him down to like 3 or 4, but Stafford's my 1, and then May's my 4 because like you said, better days ahead. He needs to run the football more, but I think they're saving him for matchups like this to run him around.
So are you flipping the coin or are you picking Burrow?
I'm picking Burrow, but it might be a coin flip by tomorrow.
I still have Burrow ahead. I just think Travion and Ramondre are going to be forces on the ground. I think this team wants to in New England, but against Buffalo, just pound the football. I think that Mike Vrabel wants to play knock your teeth out defense, and they want to control this and limit any potential turnovers in this game. I think the way you do that is by sticking with the run game. But we'll see. Hopefully Drake May has a good game. This is going to be a huge MVP showing for him if he can show out and throw 3 touchdowns. I think he'll lock it up.
Why are they making us watch Minnesota and Dallas in primetime?
We need to be flexing. We need to be flexing these games, guys. Let's go. It's late enough in
the
year.
The Rams and the Lions in the afternoon window as well. So like
unreal.
And then Dolphins Pittsburgh on Monday night.
That's really the killer. That's really the killer.
I'm not a fan of that one.
Yes, this is the week you play Stafford over May. 100%, Scott. I do this very easily. I'm not even worried about this take. I think Matthew Stafford is very clearly a top 3 quarterback. Ryan just said he's his QB1. He's my QB1. He's throwing minimum 3 touchdowns in this game. Minimum. I think he can get up to 6, but I think he's throwing, 3. Look, listen, if the over-under for Matt Stafford touchdowns is 2.5, lock that shit in right now.
Real quick. Give me 2 seconds.
Lock it in. Listen, Detroit is sneakily the best run defense against opposing fantasy running backs. They're limiting them. I wonder what the stats are actually. Who gave us that stat about the Minnesota pass defense? That was Scott too. Scott, look up when the last time or how many rushing touchdowns Detroit has allowed opposing teams this season. I think you'll be potentially surprised. But you can throw all over this defense. It might not be that they're incredibly good. It might just be that the secondary has been so injured. But yeah, 2.5 for Matt Stafford. Give me the over. I think it's more likely he throws 4 touchdowns than he throws 2 touchdowns in this game.
Yeah. Over-under is favored a little bit to the under of 2.5, but still getting good money on the over for 3. So,
yeah. Well, listen, Kyron Williams, Blake Corum, I just don't see them.
I don't see it either.
They're just not electric enough of backs with power or speed or upside to be able to punch it in close. And that's kind of what I'm looking for. Certainly they can break a big one. Anyone can against any defense. If they get into the secondary of these backs, there's going to be a good chance they break through. But they've just been so good up front and those linebackers at limiting these running backs. I really think that this is a weak look. Devontae Adams crushed our hopes. He killed me and Scott Fish by 0.81 points. Had a down week. Rough. I think he's a better bet. Devontae Adams, I would say, is a better bet for 2 touchdowns than 0 touchdowns this week. I think he gets at least 1.
Yeah, goal line fades have been absolutely insane. We went over that stat 2 days ago. How if you take those goal line fades away, or you take the non-goal line fades away, he's still tied for the league lead.
And the one thing I will say about the Detroit defense is it's possible. I don't know the exact scheme, but we know that Brian Branch is an absolute menace. It's possible that he was a big reason why this run game was so stout. He's always flying up to the football and playing the man. Now that he's on IR, this could be something that really it definitely hurts their defense overall, but really hurts that kind of elite run stoppage. At the same time, I don't care. Matt Stafford's still throwing 3 touchdowns. It's just going to happen.
It's going to happen. It's going to be a great game. I can't wait.
I don't know. I think the Rams run away with it, but Detroit's going to do their best to keep up. We'll see.
Detroit's going to be able to keep up. It's going to be tough, but we saw Carolina keep up with the Rams last week. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Listen, you're not wrong. Jameson Williams, I have incredibly high this week. Again, let's go. How about Mike jumping in? Go Birds. Yeah, go Birds. I know Ryan. Ryan repping the squad. Cat for life.
Yeah, I look goofy out here with my heating log because I'm chronic neck pain, my guy.
Hey man, you got to do what you got to do, my man. You don't look goofy with the Eagle shirt on.
I'll look goofy after they lose to the Raiders. It's gonna happen.
Well,
I book
you
it.
You may.
It's like 2023 all over again.
How dare you?
Did they lose spread. Last week? What?
Did they lose last week? Who did they play again?
The Chargers. It was that disaster game. 2023, they played the Arizona Cardinals. They were 11.5-point favorites like they are now to the Raiders. They lost that game at home 35-31. It's going to happen again. You got to fire Sirianni. Okay, we got to move on. I'm going to keep going.
Don't they have 11 wins or 10 wins or something ridiculous?
It's 8. 8 and 5.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Breece Hall or Chris Rodriguez. This question should not be as difficult as it is, but we got Brady Cook starting for the New York Jets. We got Chris Rodriguez up in the second best matchup for opposing fantasy running backs against the New York Giants. Do we care who the Jets are playing? Who the heck are the Jets playing? I don't even know.
I'm trying to think.
I haven't even looked at it. I'll check it now.
I
got to scroll all the way down. Oh God, yeah, it's awful.
But is he going to catch Chris checkdowns?
Chris Rodriguez is also questionable, and there's no way in hell in a fantasy playoff matchup I'm playing Chris Rodriguez over Breece Hall. Can Chris Rodriguez outscore Breece Hall? Absolutely. But this is the type of running back that I'm just not willing to play over an elite stud like Breece Hall should, like Ryan said, get all of the volume. Mason Taylor, is he out? Because I know he was questionable. Yeah, so literally the only game in town is Adonai Mitchell. It's John Mechie.
Yeah.
It's whoever the hell the backup tight end is as Breece Hall. So I got to roll with Breece Hall on volume. I know Rodriguez gets the volume, but Mariota instead, it's rough. He doesn't catch passes.
I'm trying to look and see who the backup tight end is. Jeremy Ruckert. There you go.
Okay.
Ohio
All right.
State.
He was getting a little run last week. Yeah. Anyway, go Brees Hall. Just listen. Can Chris Rodriguez outscore Brees Hall this week? I think so. Can Chris Rodriguez dramatically outscore Brees Hall? I don't think so. Let's see what our co-host Jesse Moeller says. Jesse, what is up?
Welcome. How's it going, guys?
Great. Answer this one because we just finished ranting and raving about it. What do you got?
Yeah, Brees. Like I get it, it's bad and all with Rodriguez, but his just role's not good enough to start him. If you don't get a touchdown on Rodriguez, you're gonna be disappointed. So I get it with Brees, the offense is terrible, but he's gonna get touches. And we trust the volume. That's what we do, folks.
Yeah. Agree there. Chris Rodriguez against the Giants. I would say Chris Rodriguez probably has the better chance to score a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
I would also say, like you said, I'm still playing Brees Hall. I think the volume is going to be there. And Chris Rodriguez doesn't catch passes. It is what it is. Cap for Life's got another one. Flex spot. We'll start with you, Jesse. Gainwell Jennings or Justin Jefferson? This is an awful question, but this is where we are as a fantasy community. But I know what you're going to say. It's the same thing I'm going to say. It's probably the same thing Ryan's going to say.
Oh, it's gross. It's Justin Jefferson. It is so gross. I don't know. It's like the fact we're down here just shows you where we're at with Justin Jefferson. But like everything is set up for him to smash. The nice thing is we saw last week from JJ McCarthy that like he can actually support an offense and do stuff. So we're hoping that trickles down Justin Jefferson this week. Can we be wrong? Absolutely, we can. But we're gonna roll with it.
It's such a good matchup.
Ryan?
I rolled with it last week, and I got burned severely on like DraftKings and like every fantasy platform because he just didn't look his way. But
Yeah.
you gotta go back to the well. You drafted him high, you're going down on the ship, honestly. Even though the ship's already underwater, but
you're doing your best to tread water with a ship towing you down. This is Ryan. Didn't you equate this or something to Titanic trying to climb onto the door and just not being able to climb onto the door?
yeah, there's a new comparison now, but I'm not going to spoil it. It's a welcome to Derry comparison, so I'm not going to say anything. But
All right, fair.
people know what I'm talking about if they watched it and I brought it up. But Juwan Jennings also has a great matchup this week against the Tennessee Titans. They're terrible against the pass, so Brock Purdy could easily go off as well, and Juwan Jennings could get the touchdown. So I like Justin Jefferson more. Could Juwan Jennings outperform him this week? Absolutely. If JJ McCarthy doesn't look his way, but we talked about this on Thursday. The walk-in touchdown that Justin Jefferson had, 66 yards. It was right there, and JJ McCarthy just missed, and we talked about that on Thursday. But it's there. He's open.
Yeah, and for as good as the matchup was last week, this matchup this week is better. It's just better. Dallas sucks. I know Washington sucks, but Dallas also sucks. But one thing that actually helps Justin Jefferson is Dallas can somewhat defend the run. Quinnen Williams came in, Logan Wilson to some extent came in, and they all of a sudden, and those safeties got healthy. That was a big thing for Dallas. And then all of a sudden, boom, they become an adequate run defense. They're still a crap pass defense. So you just hope that it's JJ McCarthy and not, was it Johnny Munt? I don't even know who the hell they have over there as Josh Oliver catching 2 touchdowns. Was that what it was last week? Just dumb stuff. Anyway, Steven, appreciate you, man. We are here every single Saturday and Sunday for your needs. We're also over on TikTok. Actually, this is a good chance to plug it. If you want to go over, check out our TikTok. There's a little QR code that the great Jesse Moeller created for us and put it there. Go ahead and click it. You can follow us over there. We are live practically every single day every week. In fact, I'm going over there after this show. These guys are welcome to join, and we'll do about 30 minutes of Q&A over there as well. So over at the TikTok, we are here, and we are here for you in your time of need. Week 15. Scott says CBS protected the oh yeah, we were talking about this earlier, Jesse. Couldn't flex it out, so we're stuck with what's the Pittsburgh Miami on Monday night. Is that what it is?
Oh, yeah, it's a doozy.
Fox definitely protected Rams lines, by the way, as well. I looked at the Fox schedule. That's the best game that they have. So they obviously protected that one as well. So it makes sense.
Yeah, it just sucks for us, but it's such life.
Ugly. Jordan Love, what is up? PPR wide receiver 2 and flex. We need 2 guys here. We got that's got to be Michael Wilson. It's not Emmanuel Wilson because we're not even expecting him to play at this point. Christian Watson, DK Metcalf, Pittman, Sutton. I got some ideas. Ryan, we'll start with you. What do you think?
Oh, goodness. Start with me. And, the GOAT, Michael Wilson. Isn't Marvin Harrison supposed to play?
He's out.
He's out.
Harrison's out. Yeah.
He's out.
I saw a report that he was supposed to play it. I don't know who was fooling me there, but
I saw a report that Derek Stingley is him. Just saying.
yeah, but so is Michael Wilson without Marvin Harrison. Like we said, 18 targets is 18 targets, man.
Follow it.
I'm gonna go DK. I'm gonna go Michael Wilson.
Okay.
Ooh,
I like it.
I like
Jesse,
it.
we got.
I'm going the first two. I'm going Christian Watson and Wilson. We have no guarantee that Surtain is going to line up opposite of Watson this entire game, and he could get a lot more Romeo dubs in this game. So I'm willing to dive into the variance with Christian Watson and how good he's been since he's been back. Back-to-back games, 80-plus yards. I don't think he's gone under 40 yards in a game this entire year since he's been active. So I think he's good. And Michael Wilson's like, you have to just stay in the flames for Michael Wilson. That offense, he suits it so perfectly. He's like what they want Marvin Harrison to be. Like, he fits it so exceptionally well. So as long as, Brissett keeps chucking the ball, I'm going to keep going those two guys. So those are my two. And it's so strange to say in the playoffs we're riding with Michael Wilson and Christian Watson, but we are here, folks.
How dare you? DK Metcalf is my wide receiver 17 this week. I am absolutely playing him. Christian Watson and Michael Wilson are back-to-back in my rankings. I like both of them this week. I will pick Christian Watson. I just absolutely love Christian Watson. I am scared of Derek Stingley. I am scared of this Houston defense. I think in fact, I just saw this stat from, it was probably Ian Harditz over on Twitter, but there are 8 games this weekend that are scheduled for, or rather predicted to have 8 teams. Sorry, there are 8 teams this weekend who are predicted to score 18 points or less. And one of those teams is the Arizona Cardinals, hovering right at that 18 points per game. I just think that Houston limits the crap out of them. I get it with Michael Wilson. He's been phenomenal. I don't care. I'm sitting his ass. I'm playing Watson. I'm playing DK.
Yeah, the weird thing with Stingley with me is he gets like the recognition that he's like this incredibly really good corner, but the stats don't back it up. Like, his passer rating allowed is like 100 at 67. You look at him on PFF, he's just kind of like middling. So I think he's one of those guys, and this is kind of like Sauce Gardner too, where they're a little bit more like overvalued than how they produce. So I'm okay attacking that much. But yeah, I get you.
I will say, stick with these guys and play Wilson, Jordan Love, but don't listen to Jesse and play DK. He's going to go off. Scott says, not touching Monty, and Buffalo has given up the most rushing TDs, so I love Trayvon. Yeah, of course. So the question earlier was Ramondre, Monty, or who's the third one? Do you remember it, Ryan? I don't know if you were even on.
I wasn't here for that question.
I'm trying to find it. It wasn't even Gainwell. It was Ramondre, Monty, and Charbonnet. So any thoughts for Scott this week? I went Ramondre as my ceiling play, but Charbonnet as my floor play. What do you guys think this week? Here, I'll throw it up here.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. I mean, as a Seahawks fan, I just can't do it with Charbonnet because we know how bad that offense gets and is going. Like, they just don't score touchdowns. It's so hard for those running backs.
Yeah.
I'm fine going David Montgomery. Like, I think that's a good matchup for him to do it. And if so, between Ramondre and Charbonnet, I mean, like, that's difficult. I guess Ramondre, but yeah, I don't feel good about either one of those guys.
Yeah. I agree with Jesse. I'm probably gonna go Ramondre, but David Montgomery has been getting those wildcat goal line carries a little bit. They've been sneaking him in there, so could be of some value if he scores a touchdown.
Yeah, fair. They have to get close. I think my concern is that they're going to be playing from behind. He gets completely phased out. That's at least my thought process with this game. Mm-hmm. That secondary minus Brian Branch is just, it's going to be a bloodbath every time that Matt Stafford is on the field, and we love that for fantasy. I just worry about Montgomery being phased out. Let's see. Here we go. All right. Steven says, Tyler Wildcat Warren this week. I have him way too high. He's a top 6 guy for me. Phillip Rivers is starting. I think he's going to pepper Tyler Warren with targets. Phillip Rivers is going to be the king of get it out quick. You thought Aaron Rodgers was getting that out quick after he broke his hand? Forget about it, man. Phillip Rivers, especially against Seattle, is going to be the dump off king. Darren Waller as your backup. I'm going Tyler Warren. What do you guys think? Warren or Waller? Jesse.
With Warren, it's good. Like, we know that everything's there with him. With Waller, like last game, his role was not even close to where he wanted to be. Started out hot, got 2 targets, and then we basically phased out the rest of the game. He only had 37% of snaps. So I think with Waller, we need to see that jump up to we're comfortable starting him because I get it, it's there, but they haven't brought him back yet where we want him to be. So you got to go Tyler Warren. I get it. It's gross with Phillip Rivers, but like he's going to get the short check downs and all that stuff. So yeah, I feel much more confident in Warren than I do Waller.
What do you think, Ryan?
Yeah, I agree. The NFL has a quarterback development problem if they're ringing this guy out of retirement, but that's a whole other podcast for a whole other day. But I'm starting Tyler Warren.
Yuck. Totally agree. Tyler Warren, my tight end 4 this week. He is well over Trey McBride down at 7. Unfortunately, he was also well over Kyle Pitts at 8. So that is what that is. Sup, Jamie? Welcome in. Let's see. Stafford could put up a 40 burger. Stafford will put up a 40 burger this week. He's going to crush. You're playing Matt Stafford. Drone Force needs 2 wide receivers and a flex. We'll start with Ryan. The options are Nico, Olave, Devonta Smith, McLaurin, Debo, Jalen Warren. I'm not going to read all these. I think that's a no to Emmanuel Wilson. What are we doing? 2 wide receivers and a flex. Potential for 3rd wide receiver. It looks like 3 wide receivers to me. Ryan, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm just going to run it right down. Nico, Olave, Devonta Smith. I know the matchup's a little tough for Olave with J.C. Horn, but Nico's an elite option. You saw it last week against Kansas City. They just target him so much, and he gets so much the pie of that offense that you have to start him. Devonta Smith's been the better wide receiver so far in zone coverage, which the Raiders run a ton of. So I expect him to have a big game on Sunday, hopefully. Like I said, they might get upset, but and then Olave, just off of pure, I like him better than McLaurin, Debo, and the other guys.
Fair. Jesse, where you at?
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm just swapping Devonta and McLaurin. That's my only difference.
Same.
The Washington matchup's really good for McLaurin. Or excuse me, the Giants matchup's really good for McLaurin. So I trust him to get the. I know last week he was down, but like he should bounce back to close to what we saw 2 weeks ago. So I have Nico, Olave, and McLaurin as my 3 I'm going with. But I don't mind Jalen Warren in this matchup either.
Yeah, agree with all of that. I'll say one thing about Olave. I'm a little concerned about him, but I'm not so concerned that I won't play him. I went back and had to watch every pass attempt or every target, I guess, that he received in their previous matchup with Carolina. J.C. Horn wasn't on him a ton, but the play where Olave got half of his yardage and his touchdown, it was like a 45-yard touchdown. J.C. Horn fell down, and Olave had an easy walk-in. He also made a few like one-handed ridiculous Olave catches like we've been seeing this year, but Mike Jackson was on him a ton. So I don't know about Olave. I'm a little concerned, but I'm still going Nico, Olave, and McLaurin as well. If you're concerned with Olave, I wouldn't mind playing Devonta Smith because I have Olave a little lower than usual, but I'm not super concerned. But are we concerned at all about Juwan Johnson? I think the answer is no. Johnson or Goddard this week, what are you doing here? And it looks like he dropped Goddard for Juwan Johnson already. Jesse, good move?
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with that move. Like you're basically getting a consolidated look at an offense with Juwan Johnson without Rashid Shaheed there now. It's just Olave and it's him. Like that's really all it is. Devin Neal plays somewhat of a role in the passing game, but he's more running routes than anything. So yeah, like it's a better chance for you to follow the volume with Johnson than Goddard because we know how Goddard's usage is kind of all over the place. So yeah, I think Johnson's safer. If you want the ceiling shot, you can go Goddard, but I think Johnson probably beats him both in ceiling and floor this week.
Ryan, will you besmirch your boy as well?
Yeah, I will. I'm at 16. I have Juwan Johnson at 14. I mean,
Nice.
Goddard relies so much on those trick looks in the end zone and just hasn't getting them because the Eagles haven't been scoring the football lately. So I'm okay with it.
Yeah, agree with you here. Juwan Johnson is usually pretty high in my rankings, but this week I have him 18. I have Goddard at 20. We just got some other better matchups, and those younger guys are healthier and playing well. But yeah, I'm still rolling with Juwan Johnson this week. Scott says the Rams activated Tutu Atwell. Hang on, let me put on my scared face, my LeBron scared face. I have a feeling he gets a deep shot, but yes, he could. Am I flexing him? No. If I have him in best ball, am I happier for it? Yes. But yeah, Tutu Atwell isn't anyone that I'm banking on at this point in the game. That said, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Tutu Atwell catches a long bomb touchdown. Matt Stafford's going off. He's doing it all. DK, Wandale, Jacoby, and Devonta Smith. Who are we sitting from this group, Jesse? Who are you going to sit down?
Ooh. So yeah, like what's interesting with Wandale is I'm curious where you guys have Wandale because he's the one I always struggle with the most. Yeah, that's the one I always struggle with the most. It's more just my bias against Wandale Robinson, but like it's a really good matchup for him to play him. So, and Jacoby Myers is the wide receiver 1 right now in Jacksonville. Like it's just not happening for Brian Thomas Jr. Right. So, I think it really comes down to how you feel and trusting Devonta Smith and DK Metcalf in this game because like I want to play Wandale, I want to play Jacoby. Then it comes down to DK and Devonta, and I need to check my rankings because I think I have DK the lowest, so which is crazy to say. I know he went nuclear last week. I want to see it one more time with DK. I just can't do it. So he's the one I'm going to say this, which is tough to say.
Ryan, who you sitting?
Wandale, reluctantly.
So how dare you?
I have none of them lower than 21, and Wandale's 21, DK's 20, Devonta Smith 17, and then Jacoby's the highest, 15. So
yeah,
it's fair. I actually have, I'm going to correct this right now. I have Jacoby Myers one spot below Devonta Smith. That's no longer the case. I got Devonta Smith the lowest because I'm definitely playing Kobe over Smith. DK the highest, actually not DK the highest. Wandale the highest of these guys at 14. I think he's crushing. Listen to this. Since week 7, Wandale Robinson 12, 4, 11, 11, 9, 14, 8 targets. We know he's getting the volume. We know Jackson Dart can deliver in his last 2 games, 9 for 156 as a score, 7 for 34. We know he can turn in those, down those Rondale Moore-esque performances. But against Washington, that's not happening. He went off against Detroit back in week 12. This is that type of matchup for him. I think he's doing it again. I am sitting Devonta Smith. So, yeah, Scott, we're no help. But start Jacoby Myers and then good luck.
Yeah. Sure. Sounds good.
Stafford over Dart. Yeah. Jamie, Stafford is 1. Dart is 2 for me. He's my number 2. How high do you guys have Dart? And let's talk about him for a second.
Too flipping high. Way too flipping high. Dart's tier 1 quarterback for me. Yeah. Like I just can't put Stafford there because he's so dependent on the touchdowns and yards. That's my only issue with the non-mobile quarterbacks. But yeah, just like it's so hard for me to rank him there just based on projections come out. But yeah, Stafford could absolutely go nuclear. But you know me, I'm like the biggest Dart fan there is. So I'm going to go Jackson Dart.
Ryan.
Yeah,
where do you have
Stafford over Dart? I mean, Dart's my QB7. I want to move him down, but I can't do it against Washington. So he's going to stay there for probably the whole week.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, we need to see. We talked about this on Thursday. We need to see him run the football. He hasn't done that since in his 1 game back from injury, but this is his 2nd game back, so I think they're going to let him loose a little bit more. Just Frankie Louvu, please don't destroy our man, just like he got destroyed last week against the Pats. We had this question earlier, Jesse. The over-under for Matt Stafford touchdown passes this week is 2.5. Where do you sit?
It's big. It's big. Like betting on 3 is just so hard for any quarterback because like this game could work out where they get on the goal line and then he hands it off to Corum and he hands it off. True. Like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't actually mind taking the over on it though. But that anytime you get 2.5 plus, that is telling you how juiced this game is looking for him. So that's why he is like basically everyone's tier 1 quarterback. I have Stafford at QB7 and like I feel great about putting him there. So yeah, I'm probably not gonna ever bet 3 pass touchdowns for a quarterback. It's such a hard bet, but yeah, I don't mind going it.
Absolutely atrocious take from Jesse right there. I said it's more likely to me that Stafford scores 4 touchdowns, throws 4 touchdowns, than he throws 2 touchdowns. I'm betting the over a ton here. But yeah, of course, there's variance. We get it. Variance be damned. I don't care. Matt Stafford
this is variance if I've ever seen it down here.
Stud.
Yeah.
I should have played Pittsburgh. Well, obviously. Frosty, if you listen to our show on Wednesday, I was talking all about Kyle Pitts, and then of course I put him 1 spot behind Trey McBride. So there we are. Still got McBride at 7. Yikes!
Tight end 4 is too low for Pitts, apparently.
Yeah. Wild times. I will say like, Pitts is an auto start moving forward. So if you survive and you bench Pitts, play him next week.
Yes, sir. Good call there. Jamie, full PPR, Jawan Jennings, Breece Hall, Jalen Warren, Ryan. Who do you sit down?
Well, it's not Jawan Jennings, I'll tell you that much. Like I said earlier, he's a great matchup. Tennessee's awful against the pass. I got to look at my running back rankings real quick to see where I have Jalen Warren. Of course, I have him back to back at 22 and 23. We're starting Brees Hall.
Yeah, it's it's tough with Brees because the offense would be all over the place. But that Jacksonville offense was cooking last week, and I kind of want to see it. So we'll see what goes on with Brees Hall this week.
Yeah.
So I'm okay going Brees Hall or Jalen Warren, but that shows you where we're at with the two of them.
That's a good point. Does anyone remember? I don't have this number, but because I'm looking up Brees Hall right now. But does anyone remember what Brady Cook, like how much of the game Brady Cook played last week?
It's like all of it. It was a lot. Tyrod went out really early. He had like 30 pass attempts, I think.
He played 90% of snaps last week, so he played a lot.
This is what Brees did last week against Miami. We know Jacksonville defense is better than Miami. Miami's been decent, but Brees had 76% of snaps. 14 carries, 43 yards, 1 target, no receptions. RB 46 on the week. RB 46.
That's the concern. If he doesn't get targets, it's good.
Yeah, I am sitting down Warren, but I agree with all of that. Chris says, what is up? Chase Brown, Travion. So let's start there. I have both of these guys incredibly high. What are you doing, Jesse?
I am not going to bench Travion. Like I get it, but this Buffalo matchup is perfect for him. Yep. And he's a really efficient runner as it is. And we've seen that, we've seen everything from him. With Chase Brown, I will say P. Ryan is taking some of that work back again. So he's not like the 90% snap share guy. He's like 65, 70. And you just need that offense to be good. If the offense is good, it'll support him. His floor is just a little bit lower, so that's all concerns me. So slightly into Henderson, but there's no wrong answer between these two for me.
Agree. Brian?
Yeah, I'm going Travion there. I have him 11 and 12, but I feel like I need to move Travion up in such a smash matchup.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I got Chase Brown sitting at 10. I got Travion at 7. Let's go, Travion. We're all in agreement, Chris. You got to start Travion over Brown. Starting 2 here, Ryan, we'll start with you. Pickens, Tet, Diggs, and McConkey. Let's order these guys. How do you have them, Ryan?
It's tough. Pickens is obviously the number 1. Then I go Tet, Diggs, McConkey, but I don't want to bench Stephon Diggs after what he did against Buffalo last time. It was a stellar performance. He just didn't get in the end zone. Would have been a lot better, but it was still great. He still had 10 catches for 100 yards?
146.
It's tough. It's tough to bench him, but I have it. I have it in the order he has it. So.
Yeah. How about you, Jesse?
Diggs. I'm just lower on Diggs just because his usage is all over the place. Like when they go to these 12 personnel lineups, Diggs comes off the field. So that's just the concern with Diggs. He ran more routes and snaps. He would be a top 12 wide receiver weekly, but he's consistently wide receiver 3 for me. It sucks, and I hate it. But yeah, Diggs.
I am also going Tet. I have Tet over Pickens, but I'm going Tet Pickens as well. Jesse, I don't know if I shared this conspiracy theory with you. I shared it with Ryan on Thursday. Steph Diggs has had 2 down weeks in a row where his usage has declined. In week 12, it was at Cincinnati. We know those outside corners are the ones who are doing the most damage. Spending time on Steph Diggs. Everyone else, of course, Booty goes nuclear in that game. Week 13 against the Giants, Jesse. Steph Diggs that Saturday night turned 32 years old, and he's got social media posts with Cardi B of him partying it up. We know how Steph Diggs loves to party with the pink powder. Maybe that was a dedicated rest for him. He's got the bye week. He's fully rested. He's 2 weeks from 32. I think he goes off against Buffalo. Those numbers, 12 targets, 10 receptions, 146 yards, but no touchdowns against Buffalo in week 5. I love Diggs as well, but I'm going Tet and Pickens like you guys. Lee says Tet or McConkey. I think we answered this, but we're all pretty firmly Tet this week. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a little bit worried about Tet, but I have them in the same range like him and McConkey. But McConkey just has a terrible matchup against Kansas City. That's really the thing dragging him down. So yeah, slightly into Tet, but they're both wide receiver, 3-ishes from back end wide receiver 2s.
Ryan. Oh, you're muted.
Well, I've Tet about 10 spots above McConkey, so I'm all in on Tet.
Yeah. Tet is a wide receiver 1 for me this week. The wide receiver 11. Need 3 running backs in standard scoring, Rodney. Standard scoring, man. I get it, but we need those touchdowns.
Congrats on embarrassment of riches. Like,
Well, this is true. All right, Ryan, we'll start with you. What are you doing here? Pick the 3 running backs that Rodney should start this week.
well, if Josh Jacobs plays, we're just gonna throw that in the hat and say you
Mhm.
gotta play him. I feel like Rico Dowdle's gonna get the work back. I gotta move him above Genty
Good.
real quick. I'm gonna go Hampton, Jacobs, and Dowdle.
Okay. Yeah, we have to assume health, I think, in this question. If Jacobs doesn't play, what are you doing?
I'm going Javonte. Actually, I'd go Javonte above Rico. I didn't see him there. He snuck into my
Yep.
ranking. So I'd go Javonte, Hampton, and Jacobs.
So you're Hampton, Javonte, Jacobs, and then if Jacobs sits or is otherwise expected to play a smaller role, you're going Dowdle. Yes?
Yep.
Jesse.
Yeah. I'm very worried about Dowdle's role. It's basically a split again, and he's not getting the passing down work, but he's getting some goal line looks. So it's concerning for him moving forward. We're kind of back to where we were earlier in the year. I would say if Jacobs plays, he's the auto starter. But yeah, Javonte and then Hampton, and then I have Genty the next, but I don't mind going Dowdle in that case if you want to do that.
Yeah. Don't disagree with you guys. Hampton, Javonte, and Jacobs should be the one. Genty, I'm just concerned about there, but he should get there on volume. That's right, Scott. You tell him, Scott. You tell him. Matt, flex, half PPR, JMO, Amarian, or Jalen Warren.
Ooh.
How do you not just stay in the flames with JMO? Jesse.
I mean, it's going to be really tough not to, right? I will say Omarion, like his role is really good.
It is.
The offense is like they were figuring it out last week. And that game was just super chaotic and just ugly across the board. I'll say the floor is much higher with Amari Hampton, but we know what JMO can give you. So if you want to shoot for the ceiling, go for JMO. But yeah, I'm gonna have Hampton rank the highest of this group.
Ryan, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's all JMO. I mean, Dan Campbell's calling the plays now. You can't go away from it now.
He's really good.
Kamani Vidal, RB4 2 weeks ago against Vegas, against Philly with Hampton back. RB 21, 14 for 44 on the ground, 3 targets through the air, caught 1 for 60. The volume isn't there, but it's enough to take away from Hampton. I've got Amarian Hampton at 22. I got Jalen Warren at 26. I got JMO wide receiver 13. So that's where I am with it. I'm just staying in the flames with JMO. It's been 4 weeks since Dart suffered his concussion. This will be McLaurin's first game without Zach Ertz. Yeah, that's a good point there as well. Although we've seen the combo of Jake Bates and whoever's not Ben Sinnott get the targets at tight end. Hopefully he gets in the game. I don't know. But yeah, I think McLaurin's going to look good. I don't care. I think Wandale's going to go off Trone Force. Don't worry about it. D's nose says, I don't trust Vrabel. Stevenson is his starter. No one's changing his mind. Yeah, I agree with that. I think Stevenson can be flexed in this game. Buffalo just gives up a ton to wide receiver. I don't care if Travion's getting 50% of the snaps in this game. It's unlikely because his role's been better. But if Travion gets 50% of those snaps in this game, I think he still comes out as kind of a high-end RB2 at worst. So we'll see. You got to play him. Ray says 0.5 PPR. Which tight end are you playing? Fannin or Likely? Yeah, listen, this is exactly how I think we're thinking about it. Leaning Fannin, but the likely matchup is the juiciest for tight ends, of course. But your opponent has Andrews. Shh. Ryan, what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm starting Fannin this week. I ranked him over some guy named Kyle Pitts this week. I don't know how he did, but
Same.
I'm gonna go with Fannin. He's my tight end 3.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't even know how in what world you could start Likely over Fannin. Fannin has a full-time role now, and he looks incredible. Even though the offense is dog, you know what? But Fannin was he looks like the second coming. So you got to start Fannin. I would go crazy if I benched him for Likely and Fannin went off of my bench. I would hate life. I would hate that.
Noah Sewell is back. If you don't know who that is, you're not alone. But he's the 3rd string middle linebacker for the Chicago Bears. Thankfully, he's back because their top 2 middle linebackers are out. I know they got the corners kind of solidified in Chicago with those guys back and healthy, but it's still very, very easy to beat them over the middle. That's really where these guys are going to live. I don't care about the weather in this game. Harold Fannin is the offense in Cleveland, like you mentioned. And with Ethan Pochich done at center, I think it's just going to be even more quick hitters. That benefits Fannin more. could likely have a great game. Yeah, but it's also possible, Ray, that that Andrews scores twice and likely gets nothing, right? Andrews could just eat up this entire pie here at tight end. And keep in mind that in this game 2 weeks ago, Zay Flowers gave you a big old donut. I think it was like 1 for 4 or something. Zay Flowers should be a lot more involved in this game, especially if this team wants to win. Yeah, I'm going with Fannin as well. Please do join our Discord if you like talking ball with us. Just use that link. You can talk with us, not just today, but every single day. 100% facts. Yes, sir. That's what we're all about. Holy crap, we got to our last question. And just in time, we're probably going to wrap this up unless we get one more. But Michael says full PPR, 2 wide receivers, and a flex. We'll start with Jesse. He's starting Pickens, Egbuka he's started Pickens and Egbuka every single week. So I guess he started Egbuka this week with Higgins on the bench. I'm a little wondering, Michael, what your question is here. Maybe, Jesse, you got to figure it out.
Yeah, I think he's just wondering like how you feel about Egbuka now that that team is back, basically. With we got our big daddy Mike Evans, we got Chris Godwin on the field. So you saw his usage drop down a little bit, but it's still better than Higgins. Is like I can't start Higgins because he's not getting a full-time snap share role. So he's in like an efficiency role, and then his offense is still not scoring a lot of points. So at least with Tampa Bay, we saw them score a ton of points last week. So even if Egbuka's role comes down, it's still you're not going to rank Higgins over him in any week. So yeah, I would be comfortable starting those two guys over Higgins each week.
Yeah, I would agree with you as well. However, Emeka put up the Higgins line on Thursday. 7 targets, 4 for 64, and no touchdown. Higgins at least scores the touchdown. Emeka has 1 since week 5. That's really my concern. Higgins has 3 in his last 6. So, yeah, I agree with you. I'm ranking Emeka over him, but with Evans back, with everything else, it's rough. Ryan, what do you think here?
Yeah, you got to start Book every week. I mean, like I said earlier with Justin Jefferson, you're going down on the ship. I mean, you spent good draft cap on him. Jaden Higgins isn't going to provide much more unless, he gets a random 2-touchdown week, but I'm rolling with the Buka.
The only way we're going down with the ship here at the Double F View is if the ship comes with us. We're winning it all. Let's go. Ray says, yeah, it's definitely a coin flip, man. It's rough, but we're going Fannin. We get it. Likely could have a great game. He could have nothing. What is this? Woodrow, it's okay. You just got here. Theo Johnson. We didn't talk about Theo Johnson. He's my tight end 12 on the week. I think he's a good play. The question is, does he score a touchdown? Jesse, does Theo score a touchdown this week? Yes or no?
I mean, probably not. Like, he's not that big of a touchdown threat, but I like Theo Johnson. He looks good, and he gives them an actual weapon outside of Wandale. So, yeah, like, Theo's about borderline top 12 tight end each and every week. So he's good as long as he's healthy.
Ryan, what are you doing?
He's not scoring, but he's a good start this week. I have him at tight end 9.
He hasn't scored in the last month. He does have 5 touchdowns in the year. Hasn't scored in the last month, and still tight end 7, tight end 21, tight end 11, tight end 27. So it just depends on the matchup, but it's a very good matchup for him this week. If you need him, you can fire him up. Last question from D's Nuts. Can we talk about Christian Watson, Roma, Dunze, Luther Burden? It's Christian Watson by a goddamn mile, Jesse.
Yeah, and if Odunze comes back, there's no way in hell you're going to play Burden either. So, like, I feel like this is Watson, Odunze, tier Burden. Like, it's just, it's so hard with Burden when Odunze is healthy and on the field. So it just is what it is.
And Ryan, I know, is our resident Luther Burden truther. He's the Luther truther, but guess what? Christian motherfucking Watson, Ryan. Talk to me. What are you doing here?
Yeah, you got to start Christian Watson. It's tough. The Luther Burden hype train is delayed till next year when DJ Moore likely leaves, but Christian Watson's the guy this week, even against Denver.
Yeah. Luther Burden has looked good. I think we all agree with that. The problem is usage and exactly what that's going to translate with on the field. And yeah, he's got the least accurate starting quarterback in the damn league. Christian Watson in the last 4 weeks, 4 for 46 and 2, 5 for 49 and no touchdowns, 4 for 80 and 1, 4 for 89 and 2. Yeah, he's getting there on touchdowns, but he looks so damn good doing it. The numbers are there. You wish that he were more efficient because, 4 catches on 10 targets. We don't love to see numbers like that. But that was against Detroit. Against Denver, I get it. But maybe it's a Jaden Reed game, but that can also open up Christian Watson a little bit deeper down the field. The ADOT is so pretty with Christian Watson.
Yes, it is.
Final thoughts here, guys, because I'm going to TikTok. Who's coming with me? What are we doing? Give me your favorite player, someone who you're looking at to go off in your fantasy lineups this week. Ryan, we'll start with you. Give me one name. Who's the guy you're looking at?
I mean, someone that's little under the radar that's not ranked as an RB1 for me this week is RJ Harvey. I just love his role in the goal line. I know the Packers play a great brand of defense, but RJ Harvey is finally getting that role in the Denver offense, and I'm excited to see it.
Love it. Jesse, who you got?
I like that one. I mean, if we're gonna go down rankings, if you really want to really get into this, I think this matchup, it's gross. It's the Zay Flowers issue. I will say this matchup is good for him, so I'm fine rolling him out there. It's been really bad this entire year, but we're hoping we get hit in playoffs. So if you're willing to start him, I think you could throw out Zay Flowers and have a surprisingly good game this week against Cincinnati.
Yep, agree with you. I'm going to go chalk. You were never sitting him, but you might be a little disgusted by his performance last week. Devontae Adams scores at least once in this game. I'm looking for him to be a complete stud this week. Jaden Reed opens up the wide receivers, but isn't necessarily the threat himself. That's the question. You know what else is a question? CMC's availability this week. Holy crap. Could be even more of a Brock Purdy game. Fire up your Brian Robinson. We'll see.
I just made that trade for CMC in my Dynasty League. Am I having the worst fantasy season of all time? I just want this. Every bad luck thing that could have gotten against me has gone against me this year. So it's tough for us all out here. But
hey, you're in the playoffs. That's all that matters.
That's it. That's it, baby.
About to not be.
Anything can happen.
He bounces me.
Ryan, you're in the playoffs, and I know for a fact you have plenty of Kyle Pitts. I also have plenty of Kyle Pitts, but I had 3 7th-place teams this season. 2 of them had Kyle Pitts. 1 of them had Bijan Robinson. Pain. Pain.
That is pain. That is pain.
I have some really good basketball teams that are just destroyed now because I can't catch up.
It's too late. Yeah.
Oh, there goes my light. That means it's
all
show over, isn't it?
That's it. Yeah, we're done. Yeah, 1:01 on the clock, so we're done here. We appreciate you all joining us. We're the Fantasy Football Universe. I'm Jeremy. This is Jesse. That's Ryan. We are here every single Saturday doing roundtable stuff, talking start-sit questions on Sunday, an hour before game time. I might have Ryan with me, but I'll be here on YouTube. Jesse will be over on TikTok. If you do not know about our TikTok, it's right here. Click the QR code. Head on over there. Please like and subscribe. We're going to go over there right now and answer some more questions, so feel free to join us if you have anything else to say. Otherwise, we don't have anything else to say. We're done. We're going to end this show. Good luck in your playoff matchups. We're rooting for you. We're also rooting for us. Let's all win and grab the ship together. Good luck. See you later. Goodbye.
FFU. FFU.